Yo, Shalawam. Shalawam, family. Can anybody hear me okay? Let me turn up my volume. Alright. Shalawam, Shalawam. We'll begin shortly. Begin shortly. How's everybody doing? How's everybody doing? It's gonna be me today. It's gonna be me this evening. But we're gonna talk about the two commandments. I'll show you a quick video. This is why I want to do it. There was a sister from South America, and she brought this up. So I'm gonna play the little I'm gonna play the little clip real quick in a moment, and then we'll start it off. Tawab, y'all, Tawab. That's good. That's what's up. That's what's up. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Share the video. All right. And we'll begin in just a moment here. Begin in just a moment. Yeah, but first of all, we give all honor and praises to Yahweh for gathering us here together. The water for attending and being here with me, and it's important. A.O.C. and the men of the Most High, and we do appreciate y'all diligence, man, and y'all attendance and y'all sacrifices. Y'all could be anywhere, but you chose to delegate out your time to the Most High and to this word. So all praises to the Most High. All praises. It's a beautiful day outside too. You're right. We see that. Finally. It's been real nice outside. Been real nice. All praises, man. We need that. I need that. All right. All right. Yeah. So, a lot of times when we talk about our brothers and sisters from the diaspora and especially South America, they're real heavy into the colorism. And they're real heavy into that, lighten up the race, right? Not that dark skin is bad, but dark skin isn't gonna move you ahead type of situation, right? So they have no issues with dating the so-called white man and everything like that. That's definitely cherished because they know that their family's moving up. They won't get persecuted as much if their children and their children's children have lighter skin, so they could be more like the European, right? Even though their skin is actually cursed. It's actually a curse. I mean, they can't even really take the sun like that. I had seen, I was wearing a little sweater, and there was a couple of people that was wearing sweaters, man, that was Northern Kingdom, and like little hoodies and stuff. And it was nice outside. It was like almost about to be 80. And then you see these Edomites, man. They just all just outside with their shorts on, just nothing else, just suffering. I'm like, what the hell is going on, man? I'm like, bro, it's not even that hot outside. What are y'all doing? Like y'all out here naked practically. Can't take it. I don't know if that's a blessing to be on that. I don't know why they like that down there. I have no idea why. They got to cut it out. I mean, they're in some aspects they're worse than us. With that, the Jesus Cristo Blanco and all that type of stuff, yeah, they're worse than us with that. But anyway, I'll go ahead and play this little clip real quick. All right, and then it's only like a 15, 30 seconds. But I think old girl is Venezuelan. She's a little light skinned. She's a little light bright, but she's Venezuelan. And yeah, so I just came across it. I'm like, because Austin, the brother that's his channel, he obviously he don't know the scripture, so he couldn't really edify her on that or at least start a discussion, And I know a lot of people do this now too. I wish I could have talked to her, but obviously you can't just hop on people's channels and just do that, right? So I know a lot of people that like to play clips of situations and then kind of inject their position. So that's kind of what I'm going to do here. So I'll just share the video real quick. So I just wanted to wait for some more people to get on. But Shalawam, everybody. Shalawam. Okay. God. Shalawam, Mother Pathaya, Beverly Press. All right. So let's go. Let's share this little video. Mm-hmm. And then, where is it at? Okay. So this is the sister right here. This is the brother that's interviewing her. And then the question is, what are your views on white Jesus and Christianity carrying white supremacist aspects and ideologies? So this is where she's going to wig out real quick. This is where she's going to rig out. All the brother had to do was just bring out revelations, you right? Really? Just, but, since, brothers didn't know the scriptures like that, he wasn't really prepared. And that's why we got to teach our people, man. We still got to teach the people the basics of this thing. So that's what we're going to do tonight. We're just going to go over the basics and whatnot. But yeah, without further ado, let's play it real quick. Hopefully y'all can hear it. What is this? 57:53 is where it kind of starts. I know I know he cusses before this, so I try to not get that and get that profanity. But hopefully y'all can hear it. Let me pull it up. Let me put it up a little bit more. All right, so I'm going to play it right now. So just pay attention to what the sister's saying.
Views on white Jesus and Christianity carrying white supremacist aspects and ideologies.
I think you haven't read the Bible. If you think Jesus and Christianity is carrying white supremacist aspects or whatever ideologies, it's not. I am 100% sure that you've never read the Bible.
So what would you say it is? Because they're going to want to know what you're coming.
Yeah, well, Jesus' message is clear. It's super simple. Just 2 commandments. Believe in the Lord. Believe in the Lord above anything else. And the second one, love your brother as you love yourself. That's it. He didn't say anything about white people, that people are using God's word for whatever ideology that they're following. That's another thing. But Jesus' message is clear as day. We are brothers, regardless of our skin color. It's not we are brothers. Oh, the black people are brothers and the white people. No. We, as a planet, as a human race, we are brothers.
Right. So that's what she said. So she said that, we are all the same people and that we should all love each other because that's what Christ said. Right. But what we're going to do is we're going to break this down little by little. Hey man, but he could have said something, man. If he knew a little bit, man, he could have broke it down. But we're gonna do this very slowly. We're gonna break this down little by little. So let's get that we're all the human race part. That's what we got to do. All right. Because I could easily just bring out Romans 9 and 13, but I'll save that for a little bit later. But I'm going to share my screen again. I'll do this tonight. I'll share my screen since I'm the only one. I got this. Got my head. It's all up in your TV. All right. So did y'all hear that clearly too? Did you want me to play that back? I know that y'all can play it back too and then come back. But if y'all can hear that clearly, that's Tawab. But so this is what the Most High said, Deuteronomy 32:8. When the Most High divided the nations their inheritance, the nations, different nations of people, right? In Genesis 10, it said that he created 18 nations. So we're not all the same people. We're different nations of people, right? And he separated the sons of Adam. We were separated. And he set the bounds of the people according to the number of the children of Israel. And then what else? For the Lord's portions is his people. So out of all these nations of people that he separated, he chosen one specific group of people. And who was that? It was Jacob. Jacob is the lot of his inheritance. Jacob is the lot of his inheritance, right? So that's something that could have got brought out right there. That could have been a good point, is that we're not all the same people. I mean, and in this world that we've been living in under the rule of the so-called white man, did he not say very clearly, blacks only, whites only? Did he not say that this is your drinking fountain? This is mine. This is your restaurant. This is mine. You can't sit in ours. Go out in the back and you can pick up out of the kitchen. Did he not do that? Did he not segregate the communities as well? If we were all the same, we aren't treated the same. We don't have, like we're bringing out the other day, we don't have a hate crime bill. We haven't gotten a fair shake in this society. We've been treated like second-class citizens. And if we were truly all the same, then we would all look at each other as equal. But it's not. Even when they go to appraise your house, if they see a Negro up in there, the value is going to go down, right? But if they see a so-called white man and his family up in there, the value will go up. How is that if we're all the same? So the delusion is a little strong. A lot of people, had that kumbaya type of feel. Why can't we all just get along type of doctrine? But in reality, that's not the case. Even in the South America, man, those conquistadors and all that type of stuff, man, they was raping, robbing, and murdering like nobody's business out there. Oppressing their people. I think Brazil was the last one in the Southern Hemisphere to get rid of slavery in 1888. We got rid of ours in like 1865, and I think like the 1850s, 1880s. But they were the last ones to really let it go. And obviously, just because you let it go legally, you still do it. I think they said like 120 years afterwards, they were still persecuting the people, just like we were with the black codes, right? And all of these different things in history that we brought up and that we could easily research, right? Not only that, I mean, if he doesn't love everybody, right? The Most High doesn't love everybody. And the book of Obadiah specifically says that, just going down, man. So he said, man, shall I not in that day, saith the Lord, even destroy the wise men out of Edom, right? And the understanding out of the mount of Esau? Man, he's talking about judging a Pacific people, right? Romans. So as it is written, man, Jacob, who we just seen is the Lord's portion, he said, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. So the Most High is going to love who he wants, and he's going to hate who he wants. Who are we to say that he loves everybody? And who are we to twist the scriptures like that? I'm not twisting the scriptures at all. I'm just going, thus saith the Lord. And the Lord says that he has a specific people that he's chosen. And there's a specific people that he's specifically saying that he's condemning. And that group is Esau. That's the so-called white man. Right? But I know y'all know who Esau is, so I won't break that down specifically, but I'll go and I'll attack the two commandments. But before I do that, I haven't read this verse in a while, but the God that chose us, the Most High chose us, man. So, he said in Deuteronomy 14:2, for thou art a holy people unto the Most High, Yahweh thy power, the Lord thy God. And the Most High has chosen thee to be a peculiar people unto himself, above all the nations that are upon the earth. So the whole we're all the same, that's not the same right here, sister. That is not the same. He's talking about elevating a specific group of people above everybody else. Just like the so-called white man, woman, and child in this society is elevated above everybody else. Right? Maybe it's just how do you say, it's just a product of being a long time ago, but nobody's up in arms about the atrocities that happened in the Atlantic slave trade. Nobody really gets up in arms about France persecuting West Africa, but everybody's up in arms about these so-called Palestinians that are somewhat European. They still have the complexion for the protection. You're right. They still have that type of complexion. So they still see pale faces and they're up in arms about it, at least now. Right. Well, when it comes to our brothers and sisters in the diaspora of West Africa being terrorized by the French and the French government, it's quiet. No one's up in arms about the children that's in Congo right now that's dying from radiation, digging all that cobalt so we can have the cell phone that we all know and love. No one's really up in arms about that, right? Because they're not, their face isn't pale and their eyes aren't blue and their hair isn't blonde. So there's a double standard, and there shouldn't be any double standards if we're all the same people. Okay. So the Most High created the different nations. He chose a specific people, Jacob, who's the progenitor of the 12 tribes, Israel. And we're supposed to be the top dogs, and there's nothing wrong with that because that's thus saith the Lord. And we're going through it. We're going through it because we're the chosen people. We had to obey the Most High's laws, statutes, and commandments, and we have failed to do that. So now we're at the bottom. And we're climbing back up to the top. All right. Another one for the sister, man. Oh, Amos. All right. Once again, he said. So all the same people were all no. He's only dealing with one, right? Amos 3:2. You only have I known of all the families of the earth. Therefore, I will punish you for all your iniquity. So he only knows us. He's only dealing with us. And that's why we whooping our behind like a father whoops his child for disobeying, right? And what I always like to say, man, if your father or your parents tell you to do something over and over and over again and you don't, what's going to happen? Especially when you come of age and you're 17, 18, they're going to kick you out the house. So that's what happened to us, man. We got kicked out of Israel. We got kicked out of Israel. For good this time. We disobeyed. We go in different captivities, right? The Assyrian captivity, the Persian captivity, Babylonian captivity. Elam had us. Moab had us. All these different nations of people had us as slaves, man, and as servants when we disobeyed the Most High God. And ultimately, in 70 AD, Rome came, and when they came, we fled for good. We fled for good, and it's been like that ever since. It's been like that ever since. All right, so let me go back. Let me go back here. Oh, Thawada. Okay, yeah. I don't know if you heard I'm gonna play it again. Actually, I'm gonna play it again. But yeah, so we're not all the same people, and there's nothing wrong with saying that. We just dropped the ball. We just dropped the ball, man. And now we're climbing back to the top. But like I said before, and I'll just reiterate, if we're all the same people, why is the people that's in power in this predominant society, ever since we got here, especially after we got released from slavery, why do they label things whites only, blacks only, if we're all the same? We don't even look the same. Our facial features aren't the same. Our nose isn't the same. Or the coloration of our eyes. So we're not. We're all different. And they let us know that. They let us know that. Every day they let us know that we're not the same. Go try to get along. They gonna let you know. They gonna let you know, okay? They gonna let you know. All right. So we got some of that, but let's go back. Let's go back here. 57 and 53. 57 and 53. And then she's going to talk about the two commandments. And so we'll get that. We'll get that too. Just want to play it so other people, if they're watching, they can hear. All right. Here we go.
Like Jesus and Christianity carry white supremacist aspects and ideologies.
I think you haven't read the Bible. If you think Jesus and Christianity is carrying white supremacist aspects or whatever ideologies, it's not. I am 100% sure that you've never read the Bible.
So what would you say it is? Because they're gonna want to know what you're
yeah, well, Jesus' message is clear. It's super simple. Just 2 commandments. Believe in the Lord. Believe in the Lord above anything else. And the second one, love your brother as you love yourself. That's it. He didn't say anything about white people, that people are using.
Okay. See, she just got, man, they be having Esau on their mind, man. Like, they're not like we're all gonna die alone. First of all, we're all gonna die alone. So you can talk about white people, you can talk about any race of people, but it's gonna be you that's gonna see the Most High in the end. There ain't gonna be nobody else with you. All right. So we're gonna talk about the 2 commandments, right? But first of all, Christ is a so-called black man too. So we could bring that out to her, right? We could bring that one out to her. So let's share my screen again. And I feel this is good to do because there may be people that's like that. I mean, I know that there's people like that out here in the world right now today. We're not all waking up. I mean, we're not all woken up yet. So there's still these teaching points. Yeah, she said, I watched the whole thing. She said her dad's black, though. She said her dad is dark. I don't know what her mother is, but obviously her mother's maybe called, I don't know, maybe like what they call like a mestizo or whatever. Somebody that's like mixed race, but it's kind of European. So yeah, I think it's like that. And another thing, she got picked on too as well. So that can play play and mess with your mind a little bit. You know, she got picked on for having that beautiful curly hair that she's got. She said she just now made it like that. And then she also said that the Afro thing wasn't really popping until about 5 years ago. All the sisters used to straighten their hair. They didn't have the Afros. And then all of a sudden, everybody started wanting to do the Afro thing. But she got persecuted when she was a child because of her features, you know, for being Jacob. So that plays into it too. It's what you call, right, self-hate. It's the self-hatred. So you're gonna raise up another race of people over yourself because, yeah, why she say dark and not black? Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. But I mean, that's one person. I mean, there's probably a lot of people that think like that out there, right? There's probably a lot of people that think like that out there, right? So, so we still got some work to do. We still got some work to do in the southern hemisphere. You know, we need brothers to get up out there, man, and learn some Spanish. You know, I need an interpreter. I need an interpreter. But anyway, obviously everybody knows this one. But for the sake of, you know, if we're gonna talk to this sister, you know, we could get Revelations 1, you know, and we could tell her that, you know, this is the revelation. This is John the Revelator, who bear record of the word of the Most High and the testimony of the Hamashiach Yahushai, which you will call Jesus Christ, and of all the things that he saw. So this is important because this is what John the Revelator saw, right? And what did he see? Right? He said, let's go down to 14. This is the image of Christ that he's seen. He said his head and his hairs were white like wool. And who has woolly hair? That says you could point to that sister's hair. And then even the host that was interviewing her, you know, he had woolly hair, right? A thick, coarse, woolly hair. The so-called white man does not have that. So that image of Christ that you're looking at, he does not have that white, woolly hair. You know, his hair is thin, without any volume, and it falls flat. A wolf's, he is a wolf. He has wolf hair. It's very thin. It falls flat. It has no volume, right? But our hair is full of volume, and it's thick, right? And it's very curly, like wool, like sheep's wool, right? As white as snow, and his eyes were a flame of fire, all right? And his feet like onto fine brass, as if it burned in a furnace. Now, obviously, the color of brass is, and that's what you would ask her, right? And then she probably, nah. But brass is a different color of brown, right? And if you put anything in an oven and you leave it up in there, especially a piece of metal, you know, or a piece of brass, it's going to get burned. Is going to become black, like charcoal black. So he was a very dark-skinned man. Right? And if his feet were like that, then obviously that pertains to his face, his hands, his chest. You understand? Like you don't have different colored feet from the rest of your body, right? Unless we're talking about the soles of your feet. But we're talking about the soles, okay? So that we could get for the sister too as well. It's to show her that, you know, if it's not about race, why did they paint the image of Christ white? If it's not about race, right? Did they not want to, if color didn't matter, and if the race didn't matter, why wouldn't they want to worship a black Jesus? Why wouldn't they want to worship that? You know? The answer is because they feel superior. Why would they worship something that they're enslaving, that they're ruling over? You don't worship something that you rule over, that you put your nose up when you walk down the streets. You don't do that. You don't worship something that you lynch. You know, you don't worship something that used to be your slave. You don't do that. You want to exalt yourself because if the people that second class citizens that you have your hand and your foot on their neck, if they look at what you're worshiping them, they might think of revolting, and they might think that they're somebody. So why on earth would you worship something that you're oppressing? You're not going to do that, because then you're going to have a lot of revolts, because the people are going to know that there's somebody. Like I said, like, why would you tell somebody that there's Superman so they can up and fly away on you? No, you want to feed that man kryptonite and his woman kryptonite and your children kryptonite, so they always are powerless and helpless and need you for everything. And if they get out of line, you can easily put them down because they don't know who they are, right? They don't know who they are. They don't know who they are. Well, anyway, let's get it. 2 commandments, right? 2 commandments. Browse up like the screen. Oh, okay. So 2 commandments. Let's get it. So I want to do this. Yeah, let's do it like this. Let's do that. Let's do that. So Matthew, and then we're gonna get 22 because that's what she was on. And I guess this is what she had learned in the church, which is almost the same thing as our church right here. It's to be kind, love everybody, and all these types of things while the police is whooping your behind in the street. It's just, like, oh man. Or you can't get jobs because of your skin color and because of your neighborhood that you come from. Can't get loans and all these types of things. You can't, just take it. Just lie down and take it. And that's that type of doctrine, man. And that's weak. And that's weak. And that's weak, man. So the church has done us errors all over the Western Hemisphere. 37, right? So, sorry. So it says here, right? Matthew 22 and 37. Christ said, he said, Master, which is the great commandment in the law, right? And Yahweh Shai said unto him, Thou shalt love the Lord with all thy heart, with all thy soul, and with all thy mind. Right? But who is he talking to? Right? And then this is the first and great commandment, right? And then he said the second is like unto it, Thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. But again, who is he talking to? Is he talking to the whole world? Let's go and let's get John 5 and 46. To explain this, I need a lot of precepts, so just give me a sec. This is the book of John, chapter 5 and 46. Because he's not saying anything new, though. He's not saying anything new. He's actually quoting the Old Testament right here. So John 5 and 45. Well, now let's just cut to the point. For if ye believed Moses, ye would have believed me, for he wrote of me. Okay? And now, since he's saying to believe Moses, because he's basically saying the same thing I'm saying, and if he's saying love thy neighbor and love God with all your heart, mind, and body, right? Then obviously he's talking about the Old Testament. So let's go back to the Old Testament in Deuteronomy. And let's go there. So when he says, Thou shalt love the Lord God with all thy heart, thy soul, with all thy mind, check this out. Check this out. This is Deuteronomy 6 and 5. And look at what it says, man. What does it say, man? And then in 6 and 4, it says, Hear, O Israel. Hear, O Israel. It didn't say here we're all the same race of people God loves everybody. You know, the color doesn't necessarily matter, right? But the nation of where you're from matters, and we're all different shades of brown, right? So we could agree right there. But it matters if you're Israel though, because he's saying what Christ is saying, and he's talking to who Christ is talking to. Didn't Christ say, "Go not the way of the Gentiles"? Right? Didn't he say that? Didn't he say in? Oh, let's skip around. Didn't he say? Because we're talking about Christ, right? So it says, "She shall bring forth a son." Matthew's 1:21, and she shall bring forth a son, and thou shalt call his name Jesus, for he shall save his what? His people from their sins, right? His people from their sins, right? But who is his people? It's Judah. It's the 12 tribes of Israel. So we got to just break this down to people like this. Let's see, Hebrews. So this is Hebrews 7:14, right? For it is evident that our Lord sprang out of Judah, of which tribe Moses spake nothing concerning priesthood, right? So he sprang out of Judah. So he was going to save his people, and he sprang out of Judah. He didn't say he was going to save and spring out of all nations of people, right? He has a specific tribe that he belongs to, man. He has a specific tribe that he belongs to. So when it's talking about saving his people, he's talking about Israel. When he's talking about loving the Lord thy God with all thy heart, mind, and body, he's talking about Israel, because Moses was talking about Israel, and he was referencing Moses, right? So hopefully y'all can get that, right? Deuteronomy 6:5, same thing right here. Thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thine heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy might. It's the same thing. The same thing. I'll go back to the chat in a minute. All right. So it's the same thing. So let's get the other one, the other commandment. And this is 22 and 39. And the second, like unto it, thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. And it's like, were we really ever their neighbors? We talking about we was segregated. We were segregated, man. Redlining, racial covenants, meaning don't sell to these Negroes, right? Gentrification happening today, and you all know, and you can name your favorite neighborhood, you know, and and you could tell stories about how it looked different and how there was more of your people there, right? Yeah, so they like to kick us out of places. That's not very neighborly, right? But what is this talking about, man? What is this talking about? This neighbor thing, right? What is this talking about? This neighbor thing? Because it didn't say love all the nations, though, either. He said love the neighbor, love who you're dwelling with. And since we were dwelling with each other in the land, he's definitely talking about Israel. But people are going to make it seem like how it seems. But let's get Leviticus. Leviticus, once again. And obviously, when you quote Leviticus and when you quote Deuteronomy and you quote Moses giving the law, he's only giving the law to one people. And that's Israel. And that's Israel, right? And that's Israel, because that's what Psalms even says, right? I mean, I'm gonna bounce around. Hold on. Let me just get to the point before I lose track. So 19, Leviticus 19 and 18. All right. So let's see here. Once again, we gotta get context though. We gotta get context. It says what? Speak on to all the congregation of the children of Israel. It didn't say speak on to the all the world. Okay, at this point, we just got out of Egypt. All right, we just got out of Egypt, man, and we're establishing our nation, man. He just giving us the laws. He's gave Moses the laws, statutes, and commandments, and now he's prepping us and he's grooming us before we get into the land, right? With the thou shalls and the thou shall nots, right? And he's speaking to one group of people, and it's the same group of people that Christ was speaking to, that Yahushua was speaking to when he's talking about these two commandments. He said, what? Speak unto the congregation of the children of Israel. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. This book is Israel first. This is thus saith the Lord, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing, there's nothing wrong with it. It leans heavy Israel. Okay, that's what the book is about. If I had a book about cats and it's talking about cats, don't get mad at it. That's what the book is about. This book is about the children of Israel, first and foremost, and everybody else is an afterthought. Okay, we don't got to get second Ezra's. We don't got to get like the nations are like spittle and all that type of stuff. We don't got to do all that, right? I don't want to break old girl's heart like that, but it says right here, man, speak unto the congregation of Israel, man, and he shall be holy, meaning separate, man. You got to be separate. Not only do the so-called white man wants us separate from him, but the Most High wants us separate from them too. Because what happens? We get seduced, man. We start marrying their women, and then we start worshiping their gods, and then we fall off completely. So that's why we have to be separated from society. We're heavily ingrained in this society, but we have to be separated, because if we join with them, then we become like them, and we don't worship the high holy days. We worship Christmas, right? Instead of Purim, and Easter instead of Passover, and the 4th of July instead of first fruits, and Halloween instead of tabernacles, right? And then Thanksgiving as well. So that's why we can't join with them, man. That's why we got to be separated, right? Because he said, what? For I, the Lord your God, am holy, man. And he ain't with nobody else but us, right? So that's the context. And then in 18, when you go down, it's saying, thou shalt not avenge nor bear grudge against the children of thy people, but thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. So it's safe to say that the two commandments that Christ was giving in the New Testament aren't new. They're old. Moses brought them out in the Old Testament in Deuteronomy and Leviticus that we just brought out. And he was talking to Israel. And it's safe to say that Yahushua was talking to Israel as well too. Okay? We already seen that he was sent for his people. And he sprang out of the tribe of Judah. Right? And we all know what Matthew 15 and 24 says. Okay, I'm trying to do this like very methodical, okay? So, I mean, it doesn't say the world here. This is just one house. it's, it's like, I'm not trying to make it right. I'm not trying to make it right. I'm not trying to do it. I don't want to be right. I want, thus saith the Lord. You know, I just want the scriptures just to ring true. Okay, and it says Matthew 15 and 24. A little bit later. I mean, this is earlier. We're talking about, this is 15. When he says the two commandments, that's in 22. That's in 22. So 15 and then 22. All right. So he's saying this before we even get to that part. So he said, I am not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel, man. And we know who we are because of the curses. Especially that sister, she's got self-hatred, right? She's putting white people on a pedestal. That's a curse, man. We were going to be last, and they were going to be first. Man, we were going to be the tail, and they were going to be the head. And now things are kind of slowly changing, right? To where we know that we have more substance than we thought, and we're not the laughing stock of this society, and that we are a special people, right? And that we are powerful, and as our numbers continue to grow, like our voices do matter, and we're learning not to put faith in the politics, in the right or the left, or in the center, but to put faith in and not put faith in man. We're learning how to do that now, right? Because these Republicans and these Democrats are showing themselves for who they really are, right? You're even seeing the Jews that say that they are Jews. You see that narrative falling apart, right? You see that narrative falling apart. Oh man. Well, let's go. All right, so that was that. I'm gonna get to something else too. Let me get to something else here too as well. But you see that narrative falling apart. But let's go back to the chat. Let's go back to the chat. Okay. Shalawam, the Scar Princess. The dogs would say that they were adopted into the K9 family. God, I want to be separate from you. Yeah, I mean, you know, we ain't got no choice. We ain't got no choice. I love my era coming up around all Israelites. Oh, you did? Oh, okay. I ain't know that about you. I ain't know that about you. So-called blacks. Okay, come. Okay, cool. So the most action. That's good. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, share the video. Well, hopefully y'all got that portion of the two commandments and where that's going. You know, and if I was there, and that's why, you know, we gotta be ready to teach too as well. At least even if you brought out a couple of those things, a couple of those precepts to the sister, and even if she didn't, you know, hold on. Let's get this real quick before we continue. There was like a nice picture that I wanted. There was a nice picture that I wanted. I wanted to get, because when you plant a seed, right? Because that's all we're doing is we're planting seeds, right? And obviously, when you talk about a tree, right, it takes time to grow. Oh, here it is, man. Here it is. I like to use pictures. All right. So let's share the screen again. Because even if people don't disagree right then and there, that's okay. At least you planted that seed, though. At least you planted that seed. All right. So this is what I mean, right? We're planting the seed, and obviously the seed is is the scriptures and these precepts, right? But I mean, just because you plant the seed, there's different stages that they go through, right? So you see how it's, you see how, 1 to 3 weeks, this certain stage, the 6 months is this stage. And then when it becomes mature, it might take 4 years. So even though you're planting the seeds of, hey, we're God's chosen people, Christ was black, he actually hates the so-called white man. And when Christ does come back, he's coming back for us. He's not coming back for everybody else. These other nations is going to be our slaves. Oh, mind blown, right? But, it may take some time for that thing to germinate, And then the Most High, and then honestly, it's up to the Most High anyway, right? But all we could do is plant that seed in their head. And then the Most High allows it. The seeding in the sapling stage is going to take place, right? And then hopefully they become mature enough, to understand, what I'm saying, what you were talking about 4 years ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, because our people are hard headed. So it might take 4 years for it to grow, right? It might take a little bit. So that's kind of, I like to just do that. I know it's a little corny, but that's kind of what it is, man. That's kind of what it is. Right? Yeah, so thou shalt love the neighbor as thyself, man. But he's talking to Israel, right? How can we in one sentence say it's an evil world that we live in, but then say we got to love everybody? Don't make no sense. Right? It don't make no sense at all. Let's put this on. Man. Put a little light on. I got a little darker out here. All right. And I got trees in the background too. And I know that they had a little one that I've been here for 2 years. That thing's got a little taller. They had like a little tree outside. And that thing's getting taller, right? But trees grow slow. Grow slow, man. And that's how our people are too sometimes. Because we're so hard-headed, The brother that you might have taught, or the sister that you might have taught, man, it might take us some time to come back around. And it might hit your line randomly one day. That's what it's all about. Man. Because it's not a race. It's a marathon. It's not a sprint. It's not a sprint at all, man. It's definitely a marathon. There's not one lap around this thing. It's multiple. It's hundreds of laps. And sometimes you're gonna fall. Sometimes your shoelace is gonna get untied, and you got to stop and you got to tie them up. You might be in 7th place, but then you might be in 3rd place. You might be in 1st place and got all your stuff together, right? And then you might run out of gas, and then you might be in last place again. And then we just go through it, man. We got ups and downs that we go through. But that is life. That's life. So let's get I got my door open too. I don't care. they don't hear this word. But let's get Psalms 97. How y'all feeling out there, man? Please like, subscribe, and share that video, man. The water for your patience, and the water for participating in this class. I do appreciate all of y'all. You already know. Psalm 97 and 10. This is King David, man. Yo. Did I share my screen? Hold on. Let me share my screen. All right, boom. So Psalms 97 and 10, man. Ye that love the Lord, man, you gotta hate evil. He preserveth the souls of his saints. Yes, we are saints. We have to understand that, though. We are kings and priests. We're saints, man. We're not thugs and gangster rappers and strippers and all those types of bywords, man. That's a curse, man. and goats. So they say he's the goat. No, he's gonna separate the sheep from the goats. You don't want to be no damn goat. Okay. Oh man. He preserved the souls of his saints. He delivered them out of the hand of the wicked. So when we talk about we're all the same and this and this and that, like there's wicked. We have enemies. We have enemies. If we're all the same and if we're all the one race, then what does that mean? What does that mean? Who sold us into slavery? Who sold us into slavery, man? Come on, sister. You know, I gotta like you in South America. Like when we talk about the tourism sites and the colonial towns, when you talk about the walled city in South America, hold on, let's bring that up, man. Because y'all may not know what I'm talking about. They probably got one in Venezuela, but I'll bring this one up. Like when we talk about, make sure there's no pictures. Yeah, we can do this one. We can do this one. Let's go here. Go to brother A.O.C. David. Yeah, Con. Hold on. Hold on 1 second. Hold on, yeah. When we talk about South America, man, this is the colonial town. Colonial meaning colonizer. This is where they all stayed, man. You couldn't be over here unless you were in a brothel. Unless the sister was in a brothel, she would be in a brothel over here. She'd be right there in a brothel somewhere where that so-called white man would just be ravaging her all day long. Excuse my French, but that's, people got to take it there, because this is nonsense. In the 1800s, he was doing whatever he wanted to you, and you did not love him. Now you want to get with him and love him. It just doesn't make no sense. It doesn't make no sense, man. So we have to remember what they did. We have to remember what they did, man. We got to remember what they did, man. So we don't fall for it, man. We don't fall for the trap, man. But this is the colonial town. This is where the colonizers stayed. We did not stay here with them. Now, since it's over with, now you can walk down the walled city and you could, go into the clubs and the bars and everything, and it's all modernized. But before, if you were walking down the street as a so-called black man, woman, or child in the 1800s, you would be yoked up so quick and got sent back right to the plantation. Got sent right back to the plantation, right? You would have got sent right back to the plantation. Right, hold on, let's just bring up Palenque. Because I know brothers like to just go out there for, you know what I'm saying, to Palenque. What? Palenque? Where's that town at? Did I get that wrong? Hold on. I'm trying to make a point. But no, yeah, here we go. There's two. I guess there's a couple of Palenques. Palenque. No, Columbia. Images. This is where we was at. This is where we was at. Okay. This is my last point. I'm going to go back to the scripts. This is where we was at. Because we're talking about South America. So I just want to bring it like that. Right? This is where now these sisters over here, they be in the walled city. And if you take pictures with them, you give them like $5, $10 or something like that. Right? But this is where we was at. We was over here picking sugar cane. All right. And processing sugar cane. All right. This is where we was from when we was over there. And obviously you see the sister's a little bit more melanated than the other sister that we had just seen. And obviously you see the Colombian colors, the red, the blue, and the yellow. You know what I'm saying? And you already know that she's a descendant from the 12 tribes of Israel, man, because we're scattered all over the world, man. And this is the first free town in Colombia. Okay. And you could tour here too as well. But everybody wants to mess with them mestizo women when they go out there and do all a bunch of things and be all lusty when we all should be coming together if we're going to do something and try to build some of this up, try to build some of that up, build a property up right here, build an apartment or something, build a big old house, you know, and build this up because they ain't building it up. They it's just like United States, man, where they stay at. They don't build that thing up. It's still a little shanty town. But this is where we were from, right? This is really where we were from. This is where we were staying in places like this. We weren't staying in no walled city, in no old colonial town. No, that's where our oppressors stayed. And you see how lavish and rich it was. And you see how destitute and poor this is, right? So just wanted to show that. Right, since we're talking about South America, right? That's the dynamic. That's the dynamic, right? That's the dynamic. All right, let's share my screen again. Share my screen again here. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so, you know, hate the evil, man. Hate the evil, man. That's evil, man. Like, you know, persecuting the people, man. Treat them as chattel slaves, man. That's evil. That's evil, man. What did Christ say too in the New Testament? So we're talking about the whole world, right? We're talking about the whole world. Sister was talking about the whole world, right? He said, I pray for them. John 17:9. I pray for them. I pray not for the world, but for them which thou hast given me, for they are thine, right? He's talking about the children of Israel, man. Did we not just read, right? No, didn't Matthew come before John? Did we not just read in 15 and 24 that you sent to the house of the lost sheep of Israel, the house of Israel? He's praying for us to make it, man. He's praying for the ones that really believe on him, that's doing the law, statutes, and the commandments to the best of our ability, man. He's hoping that we make it up out of here, man. He's not hoping for everybody. He's not hoping for everybody, man. He only chose one nation. Right? And why would he want? And why would he want to do that? Why would he want to do that anyway? When in John 7:7 it says, the world cannot hate you, but it hated me. Because I testify of it, that the works thereof are evil, man. Yeah, man, he went through it, man. He got persecuted here. Why would he be singing a whole kumbaya out there about we're all the same and love everybody, man? And this world hated him. But now we all the same now? Come on, man. So these are some of the things, you know, you would say to somebody like that. All right. Obviously, I'm skipping around John 3:16, but it's pretty much the same gist. I don't want to be redundant with that. And then even when we talk about salvation, right? Right? And it shall come to pass, Acts 2:21, and it shall come to pass that whoever shall call on the name of the Lord shall be saved. Oh, see? She would have said, see, cabron, I was right. No, you're not. It says, ye men of Israel, hear these words, man. You can't get around it. You can't get around it, man. It's just an Israel supremacist book. It's just an Israel supremacist book, man. It's just thus saith the Lord, man. I'm not saying anything really. You see me just skipping around the scriptures. I'm just reading it. I'm making it tell, like, and that's what you do with the Bible, man. You go precept upon precept, and the way that you can line up some of these precepts, you really don't even have to speak. You could just have it tell a story for you. You know, you just got to be crafty enough to do it like that. I ain't really nobody. I'm just saying, like, that's how the scriptures are, man. That's the power of all of these scriptures, man. And that they felt like puzzle pieces, you know. They feel like puzzle pieces. You could say that brothers just trying to make it say what it wants to say, but you know, you also have to be a teacher and you have to edify the people and you have to study it. So of course, you know, there's some of that that goes along with it. But I'm not saying that it says the world here. I'm not saying that it says white men and black men here. I'm saying that it says G men of Israel. And if you know that you're the tribe of Israel, man, you should hear that these words are for you. That salvation is going to be through you. And you have a responsibility and an obligation to get back into these scriptures, to show yourself approved. Because we're all going through it. We're all going through trials and tribulations, especially in this economy, Joe Biden. Especially in this economy. So you might as well, man. You might as well. You got nothing else to lose. You know? You got nothing else to lose. Might as well. And since we're waking up, now that we're in a segue, since we're waking up, you know, people are seeing that. And you know, they're not too happy, man. They're getting scared, right? They're getting scared. Remember how we were reading about Moab? And now he was scared when we were coming through in Numbers. Hold on. You remember that? When we was reading about Moab and he was scared? And how like we the Most High destroyed the Ammonites. And he was like, yo, hey. And he hired a priest. He was like, yo, come here. Hey, curse these people for me, man. Nah, y'all ain't gonna do me like that. Nah, G. Nah, you know. And then he tried to subdue us and try to sick his women on us to you know what I'm saying, to get us to pervert us and get the Most High to get mad at us. But that's what Moab did, the so-called Chinese man, the ancient Chinese man that we now call, you know, from China, you know, and Southeast Asia and the lot. But yeah, man, when we come into power and we start knowing who we are, man, they're gonna get terrified. They're gonna get terrified. You know, they're gonna get terrified because they're gonna think, and they're right. We're gonna do them like they did us, but we're not gonna be perverse, and we're not gonna be doing all of that perverse stuff that they was doing. Though you just finna work. You finna work, right? You had us work hardcore slavery. You finna get double, and now you're gonna work, and they're afraid of that because nothing's really ever happened to them. Nothing's really ever happened to them. You could say that something happened to Amalek, who calls himself a Jew, but the Most High said that he was going to be in war from generation to generation. So you could call it karma that Hitler came and knocked him upside the head. You can call it a little bit of karma, but it was already written that they were going to be in constant wars from generation to generation. So they got caught up in World War I and II. That's prophecy, right? But as far as Esau, he ain't really had nothing happen to him. Especially in America, there's nothing really happening to him. Now we're starting to see a little bit of things happen to him, like the opioid epidemic and all these types of things like that. Their economy's going down, right? You want to tank our economy here and our small towns that were growing and thriving. Now your economy's going down. You want to kill off our children, feed them to alligators, do the whole Planned Parenthood, eugenesis thing. Now you see your birth rates are going down. You know, your children don't even want children. They want to kill their own children, right? And y'all are barren. Y'all are barren, right? Just like y'all are doing to us. It's coming slowly but surely. It's coming on back to you. Thus saith the Lord, man. Thus saith this Holy Bible. Thus saith these scriptures that I'm bringing up. Let's get Wisdom of Solomon. Wisdom of Solomon, man. Let's get it. I gotta type that in. Yeah, man. And this will be the last portion. Not the last verse, the last portion of it. All right, so let's just break down Wisdom of Solomon to the best of my ability, obviously. We're going to tie it in with Deuteronomy. Okay, that's what we're kind of going to do. We're going to do a little bit of wisdom, a little bit of duty. All right. So, and it reads, Wisdom of Solomon 5:1. Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such that has afflicted him, and hath made no account of his labors. So, once again, I mean, in every story, there's got to be a good guy and a bad guy, or else it's not a story. And in this life, that's the story. We are the so-called good guys, and Esau is the so-called bad guy. And that's just what it is, right? And the scriptures say that Esau's the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it. And his world is definitely coming to an end. They can't reset it. I know there's talks about this great reset, and I see all these white folks talking about that stuff. Like, you can't reset. You can't reset what you've done, and you can't escape. You can't get out of here. But there's no way out. There's no tunnel that you could dig. There's no mountain that you could barricade yourself in to escape what's coming towards you, man. Because the Most High is gonna sift you out and smoke you out and do whatever he got to do to get you up out of there, man. And we're gonna pull you up out of wherever you hiding. You're not gonna eat the karma. Karma's not gonna, is and your fate, man. You can't escape it, man. What your forefathers have done, man, you got to own up to it. Because I wasn't around when they was disrespecting the Most High, our forefathers. But guess what? We going through it right now. We live in bad neighborhoods because we disrespected the Most High, but I wasn't there. At least I don't remember. But I got to go through this. We got to go through this as a people. So, I mean, and just because you wasn't there in the time of slavery, doesn't mean that you ain't still got to go through it. If I got to go through it for my ancestors, that means you got to pay for what your ancestors have done too as well, right? It says prepare a slaughter for his children. All right. For the iniquities of their fathers. So let me just get that real quick. Isaiah 14:21. Let me just flash it on the screen. 1 second. Yeah, 2-time losers. That's right. 2-time losers. Ain't nothing happened to them. That's why they scared. And that's why they don't know what's going on, because ain't nothing happened to them yet, and they freaked out. Man. They see brothers out there with the fringes on and the Zeeks, and they don't know what's going on. I'm like, man, what is going on? So this is what it says, man. Isaiah 14:21, man. Prepare slaughter for his children for the iniquity of their fathers. For the iniquity of their fathers. And we had to pay for the iniquity of our fathers. You got to pay for the iniquity of your fathers. That's thus saith the Holy Scriptures in the book of Isaiah. Thus saith the Lord. This is not hate speech. This is not no type of speech. This is thus saith the Lord in our religious textbook. Okay? The online version. This is what it says. Okay? And that's not me saying that, right? This is the prophet Isaiah. All right, so now that we're clear on that, when we talk about, it says in Wisdom of Solomon said, then shall the righteous man, right? Let's get that. Oh, crap, I got to get it again. I got to type it in. Oh, no, let's just get it right here. Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such that has afflicted him, and hath made no account of his labors, right? So let's switch it back, and I'll just bounce back and forth on this one screen. The water for your patience. Okay. right? So afflicted them, afflicted. How do we know that we Israel in the first place? And who was doing the afflicting? We can get that in Deuteronomy in 28. Once again, man, once again, even in the first chapter, and it shall come to pass, and thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments which I command this day, then the Lord God will set thee high above all nations on the earth. So that's not equality right there. That's supremacy. That's rulership. Okay. And you got to be of a certain stock to accept that challenge. You got to be a certain stock of man and woman to be able to understand that you have to rule this place under the guidance of Yahweh Shai and the Most High. You got to understand that, and you got to be built for it. You got to have the stomach for it. That's why he does the choosing, and we don't necessarily do the choosing, right? Because he knows who's going to be able to stomach this burden, and not this burden, but the task that's at hand, and that's going to be at hand in these last days. So he knows what's going on. The people that are scared, they're the ones that are going to be gainsaying and everything like that. If Christ told you to do something, would you do it? Right? Would you enslave the nations if Christ told you to do it? Would you jump at some fire? And if Christ told you that hey, I'll save you. I just want to test your faith. Jump in that fire. Ain't nothing gonna happen to you. Would you really do it? Would you really do it? That type of stuff. You got to be on that type of time. I'll be like, oh yeah, I'll see you in a second. Woo! Right? That's oh man. But no. Anyway, who afflicted us, man? Who afflicts us? Who afflicts us? Let's get the world renowned. Deuteronomy 28 and 68. All right. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships, not trains, Amalek, Ashkenazi Jew, not trains to Auschwitz, It says with ships, not trains. Okay, remember that. With ships, not trains. Okay. By the way up, I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again. We're not even supposed to be there. That's what got people riled. That's what got people really like, hey, man, because all this war and everything's going on over there. And they're kind of like, wait. Isn't it supposed to be peaceful over there, though, since y'all is there? Like, wait, hold on. Like, they're kind of like, wait, hold on. Let's actually kind of read this Bible now. Doesn't it say that when they go back to the land, it's going to be peace? Why are they bombing the crap out of these people? Wait. Ashkenazi? Wait. That's Japhetic. Man, they got this girl Kim Iverson. She's Esau, but she's half Vietnamese too. And she even put it together. She was like, man, y'all, and she's a great reporter too. She's one of the best reporters that's online, right? She was so real that they kicked her off of another program, and now she's got close to 1 million subscribers on her own channel. That's how thorough she is. She's real cold, right? And that's the thing. Like, even with my family members and everything like that, like, they don't know what's going on, right? And a lot of people don't know what's going on. But for her to just put 2 and 2 together like that and be able to research and boop and find out that they're Japhetic and they're not Shemitic, that was some cold stuff. But that's what the Most High was going to say, man, with the Gentiles, man. They're going to confess. They're going to confess, and they're going to come to the realization of who the real chosen people are too. Right? And it's not them. The only thing that people don't want to admit, though, is that we are the people. People might be okay with saying, hey, man, I don't know if they really are. I don't know if these people really are the people, but But now they're saying that, hey, you know, these people that call themselves a Jew, I don't know, man. That story seems a little shaky, man. That story seems a little shaky, man. They're real quick to be a part of that, to be a part of Europe. I mean, you know, I think that there was a. Well, anyway, I'll get besides the point. But it says, "Thou shalt see it no more again, and there shall be sold unto your enemies, unto your enemies." That's who afflicted us, man. Our enemies, for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you, man. No man shall buy you. Let's get into your verse 2. I gotta type this up. Oh crap. Oh, let me see this. I don't know if we're at the pop. Maybe I could just do in order for it to pop up, I got to type it in. Okay, here we go. And then I'll just read Deuteronomy on a second window that you guys can't see, but y'all should already know that by now. So, okay. We know verse 5. All right. All right, and then let's go back. And it says, so when we stand in great boldness, right? So when we stand up in great boldness, like we're doing right now, we're out there teaching on the highways and the byways. We calling things out for what it is. We're calling things out for what it is. We're calling this country out for what it is, for the lie that it is, for the double speak and just the fake, the phony, all things that what is all cracked up to be. We know who we are. We're not the color black. That's a color. I don't come from the nation black. I actually come from a nation. My lineage doesn't start in a boat. Okay, you know, so-called history. The history class that we had. My lineage doesn't start from a boat in the 1600s. I actually come from a place. I actually am somebody. You know, my ancestors just didn't pick cotton. You know, they were lawyers, physicians, mathematicians, architects, civil engineers, and all the farmers, lawyers, very regal people, a regal stock of people that we come from. We're not just slaves, man. Okay? Not just slaves. And when they see that, thou shalt be troubled with terrible fear, and thou shalt be made amazed at the strangeness of his salvation. Right? They shall be amazed at it. Because why? So far beyond all that they look for. They're going to be amazed at the strangeness of our salvation, right? Because of, I'll just read it from here. Because of Deuteronomy, man. The curses. Because we were just so down and out here. You know, we in the ghetto. We got our loud music. Our pants are sagging. Our women are loud, shaking their behinds, scantily clothed. You know, no discipline at all. You know, unorganized. You know, can't get it right. Can't hold nothing together. Can't hold a job. Right? Can't build nothing in our communities. Although that's by design. Right? We just can't get it right. We're just a backwards people to them. Right? And they just love it. They love it. They secretly love that. They secretly love that. Man, they got to put their nose up to somebody. You know, they got to know that that their stuff doesn't stink. But when we get our stuff together and we get our stuff in order, right, and then that's when they're gonna be scared, right? Because why? In Deuteronomy 28 and 37, it says, "Thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword among all the nations, whither the Lord shall lead thee." All right. So that's why they're going to be amazed at the strangeness of this. Like, yeah, y'all at the bottom. Like, the Most High's coming back for y'all. The so-called Negro. The Hispanic man, a Negro, did any descent, the Seminole Indian, the so-called Puerto Rican, so-called Jamaican, Haitian, they coming back from y'all, man. Oh snap, man! What did we do to y'all? Oh man, if that's true, oh, and then that's when they gonna get scared, man. Some people not, but for the most part, a lot of people is gonna be in their feelings, man. A lot of people are gonna be in their feelings. Verse 3. And they repenting and groaning for anguish of spirit shall they within themselves. This was he whom we had sometimes in derision and in a proverb of reproach, man. Yeah, exactly, man. They would just blame. Uh, we would just be the butt of all their jokes, right? You know, they kick us when we were down. You know, we got pushed to the back of the society. We got the worst of everything, the worst education, the worst socio-economic environments. We're trapped in these ghettos and we can't get out. We got no forward mobility. They cut us off of everything. House ownership, can barely get a business loan. But we're all the same though, right? But I can barely get my so-called black behind a business loan though. You know, so you know that's to the one sister, right? That I shown. All right, so that's what it is, man. And then verse, yeah. For we accounted his life madness, right? But that's another thing, man. We've been spitting with madness. Like they just think we're crazy. We're out of our mind, right? We're on drugs. They see our communities. They see the brothers and sisters on drugs walking around, especially in Philly, in that place. I forgot, was that Carrington or Kensington, something like that, with all the drug addicts walking around. Yeah, man, it's like a zombie apocalypse over there, man. It's just madness, man. And so when they come from the suburbs and they go to the city and they see how desolate it is before they get downtown, you know, they're astonished. They're astonished by this, man. It's like, oh wow, they live in bad, man. They live in heaven out here, man. Out in the so-called suburbs, man. They live in this their little utopia. It's their little heaven. And then where we live is like a hell. It's a hellhole, right? And that's another reason why they stick their noses up. And that's the reason why they're gonna be big mad when the Most High comes back and he chooses us. It's like how he said he was gonna choose us. And he's been chosen us. We just gotta wake up to it. Just gotta wake up to it, man. So we fools, because they were foolish, man. They were foolish. Well, let's see if I got that too. Yeah, we fools accounted his life madness and his end to be without honor. Because you were foolish, man. Because what does Jeremiah say? Jeremiah 16. Jeremiah 16. Let's see here. Let's see. Yeah, man, because the fathers inherited lies. Okay, their fathers inherited lies. I don't gotta get a verse to verse, but yeah, their fathers inherited lies, man. They lied to them. They lied to them. Not necessarily their fault. The children that's living today that descend from their parents. Not necessarily their fault. They just weren't told nothing. They don't want to tell about the evil things that they've done to our people. That's why they're trying to hide the history right now. They don't want to tell who they really were and the evil things that they really did. There's so much, right? That's why they were dogging critical race theory. Because it made their children, it would make our kids feel bad. Well, maybe they should feel bad. And then after they get done feeling bad, maybe they could treat us with some damn respect when they get older. And not have little mock slave auctions in 8th grade. All right? Because y'all okay with teaching them about that. but when it comes to the atrocities of slavery in a very detailed manner, you don't want them to deal with that. But you have no problem with teaching the kids so much hatred for our people that they have mock slave auctions, right? Madness, man. That's the maddening part, right? He said, "How is he numbered among the children of the Most High, and his lot among the saints?" Like, this is a saint. What? I thought Christ was white, right? But he's the saint. Yeah, it says that we were saints. It says that we were saints, man. We're saints. We're kings. We're priests. We're royalty, man. We're a peculiar and special people above all the nations of the earth, man. Therefore, we have erred from the way of truth. Exactly. Because you inherited lies, and you do lie. And our identity was stolen by the identity thieves. You know, that's not Bibi Netanyahu's real name. He's got some Polish name, right? It's like, man, you got what? You got double identities, double dual citizenship. You speak, I think Obama and Macron. I'm talking about the Prime Minister of Israel right now. Him and Obama, when Obama was in office, the French president was saying, "Yo, I hate dealing with this dude. He lies so much." He was like, "You hate dealing with him. I got to talk to him every day." It's like, man, and you a Jew, thou shalt not lie. Right? But you just like your father, man. Just a liar, man. A liar from the beginning, man. And that's all y'all do is lie. Right? That's all y'all do is lie. Therefore, we have erred from the way of truth, and the light of righteousness hath not shined onto us. And the sun of righteousness rose not upon us. Exactly, because you're not the children of the light. You're not the children of righteousness. Okay? We are. But we going through it right now. We're going through it right now. Well, we have a choice, man. We gotta come back to the law, statutes, and commandments, man. And we gotta edify our people one at a time. So if I was there with this sister right there, breaking down, good for her knowing a little bit of the Bible, but she got to study the Bible a little bit more. But she needs somebody to teach her, too, as well. So, obviously you can't be all over the world at one time, hopping on everybody's channel, saying, "Hold on, brother, let me come in." Hey, what'd you say? You said God loves everybody. Hold on. You can't do that. But at the same time, we can always prepare for that moment to happen. So stop my screen. On my screen. Yeah, so I mean, with that, I'll end the class for today. And I'll try to get something going on Friday too as well. We'll see what's going on. I think I gotta work. I might have to stay late, so I might see. But that's just for the regulars though. That'll be on. Well, yeah, man. Thank y'all so much for this class. Hopefully this was edifying. Hopefully y'all took some notes. I know we go through some of the same things, but it's always good to keep on going through the basics because obviously, as you just seen, this sister didn't really know a lot. Sister didn't really know a lot. I know that y'all are more learned than this sister. So, and it might be y'all turn out there in the world to kind of, cut a doctrine here or two, right? So, so it's always good, man. It's always good. Anyway, with that, I'm gonna end the class. Yo, Shalawam. Yeah, hold on. Never underestimate the power of planting seeds, man. Yeah. Hey, it's me again. You were here the whole time. Okay. Bugged out. Yeah. Come. Yeah, so I'll see y'all on the next one, man. Enjoy the rest of y'all Wednesday evening. Oh, throughout so much. Yeah, man. Like y'all make me want to get up on here, man. I can't leave y'all hanging, man. You know, it's like it's a two-way street, man. It's a two-way street. Yeah, she said, "You was here the whole time. You gotta check in with me. Check in with me." I think for dedication, honor, this is all praises to the Most High. For real, for real. Give all praises and honor to the Most High, man, for even waking me up to even be in this position. Right? But I'll see y'all on the next one. Y'all have a beautiful time with y'all families. Relax, you know, get some rest, and I'll see you on the next one, okay? Shalom.